Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tarriet TV 1 with Madam Tarriet. Today's date, November the 26th, 2023. Time now is 2:44 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, and the moon is now in the sign of Taurus. Okay, which means that when it comes to this here Taurus moon, how will it affect the sign of Virgo? So I feel like when we are dealing with this here moon energy in a sign of Taurus, which happens to be an earth sign, like yourself, Virgo. Good morning, Trinity. Like yourself, Virgo, is that this here Taurus full moon is going to affect you when it comes to helping your self confidence, um, giving you the motivation and drive and inspiration to push yourself forward when it comes to not just lifting yourself up, but helping to lift others up. Okay. So the title of this here reading is called uh Reason or Call for Help. Okay. And so this is going to be a general reading, and I must say that I'm really impressed with this here reading because the last reading that I did before this one, uh, that reading had a lot to do with, we spoke on what shadow work, right? Shadow clearance, and it was something else but we touched on many different things in that last reading that I did, right? And so I was really amazed how I was led to pick up this particular deck because I wasn't sure why Spirit was leading me to pick up this particular deck, but I did. And at first, I was like, how does this connect? What exactly is this giving me? What I'm saying is this going to be a message about how to protect, what I'm saying, against, what I'm saying, evil eye, or where is this taking me to? And so Spirit led me to pick up, you know, to grab this here deck right here. It's called Less Vampires, okay? And it's almost 3 a.m. So you know what they say when you are up this time in the morning, 2:33 a.m. in the morning, and you're feeling led and guided to do a reading or perhaps do some work, right? I love to read. That's one of my, how I like to relax my mind, get my mind flowing, with those creative juices. I like to read, I like to learn, I like to discover new things, right? Open myself up in a positive manner, okay? So, Virgo, let's begin this here breathing, shall we? Let's jump into this here spiritual journey of positive insight. It has, the good with the bad, the bitter with the sweet, right? The dark and the light, basically knowing how to or learning how to take a negative by going within and taking that negative and changing it into a positive, okay? So, Virgo, the first card that you got is dealing with energy, newness, mentality, internal youth. Okay. And so basically, when this card comes out, it's telling you one or two things, right? It's telling you that you can either learn how to work with this here energy and create this positive newness about yourself. Uh, when it comes to pushing yourself toward change, like for example, when you wake up in the morning, right? What can you do just for today that's something different, right? Now, there's a positive in every card when it comes to oracle messages or tarot messages. There's a positive and there's a negative, and there's an up and there's a down, right? And it's all about choices and decisions and understanding the meaning of tarot cards and oracle cards and the message that you receive when listening and taking it in, okay? So when it comes to this here internal youth, this is your first card that came out, which I was really surprised. So this is like, for example, saying, because things may not be going in the order or fashion that you are wanting them to go in, or maybe it's not happening fast enough, or because you're feeling blocked, obstacles and challenges in your way. So therefore, you want to stay in bed and sleep all day. You don't want to get up, you're broke or whatever the case may be. You don't have nothing to, to rise you up or whatever. So the flip side of feeling down is learning how to get up and create a newness within your own self. You understand what I'm saying? Learning how to have this vitality. What can you do to give you this positive energy, right? And we spoke on removing the clutter, okay, whether this is removing clutter around you or in you, right? So we spoke on how to take that negative and change it into positive, right? Second card that came out, Virgo, was enlightenment, and how this card of enlightenment came out with that newness, inspiration, innovation, epiphany. You know what I'm saying? Epiphany. All of a sudden, the light bulb has shined and the light has come on and it has clicked and you get it, right? And it's amazing because I could tell you that at 12:24 a.m. as I was sitting here right at my altar, uh my CD player came on by itself. I didn't even touch it and the CD came on and it started playing. And right before that happened, I was receiving some distractions from outside, right? Where there was loud music, and I was trying to figure out where this particular kind of music is coming from. It's not something that I hear on an everyday basis. And it was really distracting me. And so as this music from outside was distracting me, my CD player, my own radio, turned on by itself and it started playing. So I left it alone. I let it play. I didn't bother it. And I just said, thank you, Spirit, because that was Spirit's way of showing me that I'm not by myself. You know what I'm saying? So Spirit, it was like this. Spirit was around, was like, okay. They quickly picked up on the distraction and it turned on my CD player, my jazz music, and it gave me something positive for me to block out what was going on outside. Okay. So when I see this here card of innovation, epiphany, this inspiration, this new found feel of hope, okay? Because you do have that. You have anticipation, you have bright prospects, okay? That card came out too, and we will come back to it, but I'm just going to show it to you real quick that you did get the hope card, okay? So we'll come back to that, all right? But yeah, all of a sudden you're starting to regain this here epiphany about yourself. The light bulb is coming on. Many of you might have felt trapped within this dark shadow. Okay, so we spoke on that shadow word, but now the light bulb is starting to come on. You're starting to get it. Things are starting to make sense. You're starting to put the pieces to the puzzle together. Whatever was felt broken, slowly but surely, it's starting to come together. Okay. So the next card that came out on you, Virgos. Good morning, Randall. How are you? We said shout out from Australia. Yes, I love Australia. Love you guys in Australia. Thank you for supporting the channel. So transmission, spreading conditions, influence, or impact. Okay. When you receive this card here, right, it's telling you to you know, be careful of what you allow to influence you so that you don't take this, because it's true what they say. When you hear someone say, you can tell a lot about a person when it comes to the people who they hang around, right? And so when it comes to influence, right, this card right here, impact, you have to be careful with that because you have to ask yourself, who is it or what is it that has made a great impact on your life? Or who is it or what is it that is damaging, you know what I'm saying? Um, that's stopping you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when it comes to influences, who is it or what is it that is helping to influence you, to inspire you, to motivate you, to lift you up so that you can be a positive influence and motivator to others. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like knowing how to protect your aura and your energy, like we spoke on the last reading, right? Um, knowing how to detect those obstacles, those little distractions that try to get in, like right as soon as you got something good going on in your mind, then all of a sudden, something will come in and distract you and try to pull you from what it is you was just thinking, right? Like you could wake up in the morning, and be like, you know what, I'm getting ready to do this, because I did. This is telling me to get up and do this, and then all of a sudden the phone will ring, and it'll be a distraction because the person who's on the other end not really talking about anything, but then they'll start pulling you in on all this negative energy to devour you, and you done completely forgot what it was you woke up what you was getting ready to do because now this phone call is holding you down and it's blocking you from moving out the door doing what you're supposed to do, if that makes sense, right? So when it comes to influences and how to things that you allow to impact your life, um, like I shared a little bit about my own testimony in that last reading that we did. When I shared with you the ups and downs of my own past trials and tribulations that once upon a time I went through, right? And the obstacles that I faced, and how I had to learn how to take those downfalls and help myself because I was either going to live or delete, and so I chose to live. And it was some sacrifices that I had to make along the way, and I had to learn, okay? And so we're going to touch on that too because there's some cards on the table that I was shocked, Virgo, when I was shuffling these cards and these cards started coming out, and I felt like Spirit was talking to me. And this is my time. You guys know that. I know people saying, "But do Tracy ever sleep?" Yes, I do. I go to bed at 7:30, 8 p.m. Okay, so when it's 7:30, 8 p.m., I'm not here whatsoever. Okay, I'm in my bed asleep. Like at my age, I go to bed early. And so that's the reason why I'm up now because I go to bed so early. And so my bedtime for me is 7:30, 8 p.m. Okay, Eastern time. So I don't do readings at that time, okay? So if you try to book a reading with me, it won't be between the hours of 8 and 10 because I'll be asleep, all right? And so normally what happens is when I go to bed between 7 and 8, I normally wake back up around 11:30, okay? Just so you know. All right, so Virgo, anyway, moving along in your next card that came out, right? Because we just talked about influences and being the positive influences and how you carry yourself says a lot about how you will impact those around you, okay? And so the next card, which I love this card, okay, when it comes to the ancestors, okay, ancient ancestries, okay, it says Egypt, magical inheritance. I love this card right here, okay, because behind this card, you got nightmares, okay? Nightmares, psychic protection, shielding bad dreams, and then you got seduction. Okay, so let's start with this here ancient, okay? And the reason why this card came out on you guys, okay, Virgo, the reason why this card right here came out on you is because this card here came out on you, all right? And so when it comes to these nightmares, and in the last reading that we did, we spoke on scrying mirrors, right? And I'm always telling you before you go to bed to cover your mirror, cover your TV because demonic spirits travel through electronics. Demonic spirits travel through mirrors, okay? And so I'm always telling people to cover your mirrors because people use mirrors and they send demonic evil forces through these mirrors. And this is why I tell you to protect your mirror, okay? Sometimes you may have to put a blanket or something around your mirror so that you don't see these demonic spirit forces walking around you, okay? It's like, for example, if you don't have certain things around you to protect you, to shield you from these forces, these demonic evil, that come around you, and let's say you got all the lights off, and then all of a sudden you see this dark shadow, and it's hovering over you, and it tries to shut you down, right? Like I don't know if you ever had this experience. I know for myself in the past, how to tell if you have a negative, wicked, demonic force around you when you sleep. because something will come and put their hand around your mouth, and it'll make it hard for you to breathe, and it'll be as if you're gasping for air, and you can't move, and you can't yell, and you can't say anything, and it's trying to suffocate you on your bed, and you are fighting to bring yourself back, because it's almost like having this asthma attack, even if you don't, you may not even have asthma, but something is trying to choke you and hold you down. Or if you ever felt as though somebody is choking you from the middle of your neck, and you start coughing up, or feeling as though you're about to vomit and you're in a deep sleep, and something chokes you and it makes you sit up and it makes you spit up a little bit because you're having a hard time breathing. Those are demonic forces that's coming in to spiritually attack you, that's sent in from the enemy. Okay. And so when that happens, uh, Spirit is telling you the time has come for you to learn how to shield and protect yourself. Okay. And so when you receive this here card, Ancient, all right, this here card right here is giving you, and this is how you know when you have inherit uh, these spiritual gifts. Okay. When you become telepathic, when you become clairvoyance, audivoyance, when you have the gift of being an empath or a psychic medium, and you have that ability to communicate and connect with your spiritual ancestors on the other side. Okay. So when this comes into play for me, the first thought that I received in this message that I got was um, Native Indian skeleton bones. Okay, I'll say it again. Native Indian skeleton bones. For some of you, you may have spiritual ancestors that are some, because I know for myself, I am multiracial. Okay, so my mother's mother is Cherokee, and my father's grandmother, she's like part Apache Indian, right? So, and then my dad's mother is Blackfoot Crow Indian. Okay, so I have a mixture of Blackfoot Crow Indian as well as Cherokee and Apache Indian in my ancestral roots, right? And so immediately, when it comes to this here ancient ancestry, a lot of times often we go, and you know how we go to ancestry.com, right? And we get a lot of information when you log online to ancestry.com, and you want to learn more about your ancestors and about your grandparents and great grandparents and so on, and you begin to discover new things about them, right? And for um some of you may have heard of where people use graveyard dirt to get rid of negative demonic energies. And so people tell you, oh, well, you can go on Amazon and you can order graveyard dirt. I always tell people to be careful when it comes to dealing with graveyard dirt if you don't know where that dirt really came from. You understand what I'm saying? And so when I think of Native Indian skeleton bones, for me, it's telling me that prepare yourself as you get ready to move forward on this journey that spirit is carrying you on. Um, what it's saying is that for some, you are going to travel this spiritual journey, this spiritual path that is going to lead you to your spiritual ancestors. And when you get there, you will know exactly what it is you are in need to do, okay? What you are in need of, okay? Like for some, it may lead you to your spiritual family graveyard, okay? And if this is what happens, if you find yourself going out to visit a deceased loved one at that grave, it may tell you to take a spoon and bring with you a clear glass lid, jar with a lid, and take some of your spiritual ancestors' graveyard from that grave and carry it home with you and cleanse it and use it as a spiritual protection shield blanket, okay, to help you to stop you from having these here nightmares, okay, knowing how to shield that off, all right? I know that was a bit long, but I like to go all the way in to give you the full definition and spiritual meaning, okay? because I said I didn't want to be long with this here reading, but we're going to try to get through it as quick as possible, okay? Because you guys know how I am when it comes to explaining things to you. It's almost like sitting down, being in a class, and me trying to teach people. I try not to share too much information on YouTube, but then I try to get head on and help those who are in need of help, okay? All right, so the next card that came out, Virgo, seduction, allure. When this card shows up in your reading, what it is saying to you, Virgo, it's almost like a warning, right? Be careful because somebody could be trying to come to you, again, distract you and allure you in the wrong direction and take you down the wrong path, okay? So, Spirit is telling you that sometimes it's best to practice your gift because practice makes perfect, right? And when you do your step work and you do your shadow work and you apply yourself with that stability to help you along your spiritual journey, you will then become strengthened where you will have the ability to see through it. Okay, and to take notice that when these seductions and negative behavior comes your way, you will be able to dismiss it. You know what I'm saying? And cut it down and get it about your face, okay, and not entertain it, all right? So be careful when it comes to this here seduction card because it says a lower desire manipulation. So you have to know how to protect yourself and shield yourself from this here manipulation that's trying to come in and seduce you, okay? Moving on, your next card, okay, because we titled this here reading. I feel like I skipped over some things. No, I didn't. Okay, okay, because I'm trying to go in the right order here. Okay, so you take notice that I titled this reading "Reason Call for Help." Okay, because these were some of your first cards that came out. Okay, so I named the title. I named this reading "Reason Call for Help." So when the call for help comes out and it says to reach out, need backup, admit your needs. So when it comes to call out for help, and you are saying to yourself, well, who am I going to call? I don't have any family. I don't have any friends. I'm not in a relationship. I'm single. I don't have any moral support. I'm in a town, city, county where there's nobody here with me but me and Jesus, right? And I don't trust nobody. I don't want to tell nobody what I'm going through. So therefore, who can I call? So Spirit is saying when it comes to call for help, you need to rely on your ancestors. Okay, don't be afraid to call upon your ancestors and tell them what it is you need. Okay, and when this card shows up, it's telling you that you are needing to take some time to self meditate and get in your private corner and perhaps listen to some Reiki healing. You can go on your phone and you can pull up spiritual YouTube mantras that you can listen to. There's all different kinds of spiritual mantras, whether you want to listen to song bowls or the sound of the ocean waves or birds chirping, chakra cleansing, learning how to cleanse yourself through crystals and water meditation. You can do that. There's even mantras that you can listen to that break evil eye spells and dark curses. Okay, so when this card comes upon you to call for help, okay, this is also a card that when you have been blessed and anointed with this here magic power that you have developed, that you have inherited from your spiritual ancestors, is going to spiritually teach you what it is you need. Okay, what do you need to purchase? What do you need to put in your bath water? What do you need to cover your doors and your windows with, right? What do you need to put beside your bed, under your pillow? Sometimes you got to be quiet and you have to pray and you have to go to your spiritual ancestors and allow them to guide you. Okay? Reason. Listen to advice. Think clearly. Use intellect with this right here. kind of speaks for itself, right? Listen. And so when this card comes up and it shows you listen to a device, what this card is about is spiritually telling you that it's okay not to know something, okay? Because we're not perfect. Nobody has all the answers, right? But you know what they say. If it's something that you don't know, what does the teacher tell you to do? Raise your hand and ask a question, right? So in this situation here, it's calling for you to reason, it's calling for you to listen. And so what it is saying is that spirit is going to send somebody, whether this is a stranger or somebody you know, that's going to come to you at the right time and they're going to give you a bit of information. Spirit is saying don't just shrug it off because you don't know this person. Okay. Spirit is saying, be quiet and take in, listen. You know what I'm saying? Bits and pieces, take in what it is you need to take in because this message that's coming to you is going to help guide you in some sort of way. So, Spirit is saying that Spirit is going to send somebody to help you. Okay, so you can be, kind of be expecting that. All right. And that don't mean for this reading to be long. Like I said, for those of you who need to receive this message, receive it, okay? So shout out to Trinity and Randall for being here, okay? Because you never know what you can learn from some readings, okay? I try to be, a positive spiritual teacher, if you will, okay? When it comes to me trying to explain, I'm only trying to deliver this message as a help, as a support system, okay? Um, the next card that came out on you, Virgo, is a pass to prison, all right, or uh, the pass. Bitterness is what it says. It says bitterness, grudge, refusal to let go, okay? And so, what this card is about, anytime this card comes out for you, Virgo, what it is saying is that somebody refuses to let go of their past. Somebody is feeling stuck. There's a lot of regression. Somebody just won't stop talking about all the mistakes they made. Um, a lot of hateful grudge and bitterness. This could be somebody because Virgo, we tend to overanalyze when it comes to everything, right? And so when it comes to this here, reading them overanalyzing and thinking too much, feeling entrapped, a lot of thoughts are going on in our head. And so sometimes we tend to stay stuck in the past and we have fears of wanting to move forward because of some of the things that we have experienced from the past. We're holding on to that, even though it was a painful lesson and we learned from it, and we're trying to protect ourselves from getting back out there. Spirit is saying sometimes you have to let go of that painful experiences, and you have to also be careful when it comes to other people who come around you who continues to throw the past up in your face, that continue to drain you emotionally and mentally because you got somebody who's constantly telling you in your face about this, that, and the other, or accusing you, playing the blame game, pretending to be the victim, if you will. You can have somebody around you who's acting like they the victim and they blame you for every damn thing. Everything is your fault. You the person they blame it. If it wasn't for you, this, that, and the third would have never happened. You always hear that when you're in a situation, relationship. Somebody's always saying, well, it's your fault. You did this, you did that, but they never want to take the blame for themselves, okay? Like I said, I feel like we went through a lot of this in the last reading I did. Oh, okay, y'all. The next card that came out on you. Let's talk about it so I don't skip over anything. That's the D when it comes to this card right here, right? I know it's late. People are trying to go to bed and they're probably sleeping. They're just tuning in, and because it's late, like right now, it's 3:13 a.m. Eastern time. So I get it. This is bedtime. People are supposed to be asleep. Nobody's really up at this time of the night. Um, so when you get this card right here, S and D, when you get yielding, rapture, bliss, okay, this is again a warning about choices. Okay, be careful when it comes to the choices that you make. Okay, because you got this card right here. You got death will come. Okay, fragile, death will come right behind this here SSC card. Again, everything that looks good is not good for you. So be careful when it comes to the choices you make. Because yes, we live and we die, but Spirit is saying, um, don't be a victim of your mistakes. Stop beating yourself up, because stress and anxiety can cause people to suffer with heart attacks and strokes. So Spirit is saying, instead of laying in bed beating yourself up, becoming a victim to whatever it is you're going through, Spirit is saying, learn how to take a negative and turn it into a positive, and learn how to uplift yourself, okay? Because if you don't, you can give yourself a massive heart attack or a stroke. So the Spirit is telling you to shake this off. Don't let other people come to you and beat you down on bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? And be careful when it comes to what you choose, and who you choose to let in, okay? So I feel like the most of this reading is all about um knowing how to protect yourself and shield yourself, because many of you have a lot of jealousy around you, because the jealousy card came out too. Envy, punishment, change of course. So when it comes to this here envy and punishment and this jealousy, again, these demonic forces, Virgo, you have a lot of jealousy around you all the time. You just have to remove yourself from this here presence. Because I feel like this is somebody who's trying to or want you to suffer with some sort of low self-esteem. They're trying to push their problems off on you. It's somebody who can't stand your light, your wisdom, your knowledge. Next card that came out on you is called the Witness card. I like this card right here, believe it or not. To know personal evidence to speak out. Okay. So when I see this card right here come out for you, Virgo, and I see witness, and it comes out with jealousy. The reason why people are so jealous toward you, and the reason why people hate you so much, is because you have witnessed a lot of things in your life. And when you speak from experience. You speak from your own experience. And a lot of people don't care to hear what you have to say, because some people might judge you and they might say, oh, well, she act like she know everything. She act like she perfect. But in reality, you're not perfect. You're sharing your trials and tribulations and storms with others, but you're not sharing it in a negative manner. You're sharing it in a positive manner. You are trying to spread love and light, peace and solitude, healing and education, to help motivate and lift others, to inspire others. Okay? And so it's like, yeah, learning how to be a light. Exactly. And you're helping to shine a light for others. And so when you speak as a witness, you're witnessing. You're speaking from your own personal evidence and experience. And somebody else could be a witness to a harmful crime that took place. So for many, this can also be a court situation where somebody has personal evidence and they're tired of holding it in. Because we also spoke on that from the other reading that I did earlier yesterday, right? We spoke on somebody who is ready to communicate and open up and tell the truth, because somebody has some personal secrets that they have been holding back. And for some of you, this can be even a personal vendetta that somebody is going to tell you and speak to you and make you aware of what's been going on. And they have proof, they have receipts to prove to you that what this person did to you, they didn't have no business doing. So that's getting ready to come to the light as well. Now, for many of you, I told you, I said some of you are being stalked and you're being preyed upon, right? And so when this stalk, somebody's trying to invade your privacy, somebody's watching you closely, they're observing you, they're taking notes. Spirit is telling you, warning you not to allow yourself to become preyed upon. Be careful. Don't set yourself up to become a victim. So pay close attention to your surroundings. And the people saying, how many damn cars does she have? We're almost done, you guys. Oh, the hunter. When it comes to being a hunter, the aggressive person, I don't really particularly care for this card because, again, this is about choices and being careful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're a grown, responsible adult. You can do what you want to do, but be careful when it comes to hunting and preying because you can have somebody who consider themselves a hunter and they're trying to prey upon you. Or if this is you thinking, well, there's something that I want. And sometimes spirit tells you if it's something you want, don't be afraid to go after it. And so I feel this is somebody who views you as you're something that they want and they're trying to hunt you. But this is somebody who could be very aggressive. Okay. And for others of you, when it comes to this rebellion stage, we spoke on this in your last reading, right? When I shared with you guys the experience of what it's like being a parent, whether it's a single parent mother, you can have a teenager or a young adult that is rebelling and acting out toward you. Or you can even have somebody who's just being petty as hell. You could be dealing with a grown ass individual, a damn adult, a grown ass female, or a grown ass man, and they acting like a damn child. And they throwing a temper tantrum because they can't get what they want. Then you got this here sacrifice card, okay? Offering, letting go. What are you willing to sacrifice and let go of? What are you willing to change? What are you willing to break? What are you willing to release in order for you to move forward? Is basically what this card is about. Okay. And then your other cards that we got here. Very simple cards, okay? I'm gonna keep this short. Where it says love conquers all through faith, okay? Faith comes in by hearing the word, all right? By allowing spirit in, okay? Because we have two masters. We got a dark spirit, we have a negative and a positive spirit. So positive love conquers all. Faith comes in through hearing the word, okay? Then you got this here supernatural card, okay? Impeccable, miraculous, hope, anticipation, bright prospects. Again, it's all about learning how to receive blessings, learning what to do with it. Sometimes you may be up like I am, you do a lot of reading, studying, learning, and you have the gift and the ability to not just help yourself, but to help others. And through you giving back and helping others, you also learn to create some sort of new aspiration and hope within yourself, where there's a need for you to raise your vibration. Because some of you are going through a spiritual resurrection when it comes to this here reprise, recovery, bouncing back, spiritual transformation after going through a painful ending or separation, divorce, breakup, okay, legal separation, whatever case may be. Some of you could be also going through child custody situation as well. So Virgos, I know that was long. I didn't mean to be here that long. I hope you was able to receive something from it. Okay. So with that being said, you guys, go to bed and get your sleep. It's 3:23 a.m. Eastern Time. All right. God bless. I'm out.